The air in the room is thick. On one side of a one-way mirror, a woman tries to steady her breath, hands trembling. A police officer stands beside her, calm and steady. Take your time. Just point to the man you saw. It sounds simple. Just pick the man who changed your life forever. But it's not. On the other side of the glass, 6 men stand under harsh lights. One of them is Ronald Cotton. He doesn't know why he's here. He was at home when the crime happened. But now, he's number 5 in a line, his face part of a memory that isn't his. He tries to look neutral, not knowing the real perpetrator isn't even in the room. The witness, Jennifer Thompson, peers through the glass, heart pounding. She wants justice. She wants to be safe again. The faces blur, then sharpen. She searches for the eyes she'll never forget. She hesitates, then looks again at number 5. Is it him? The officer gives a small, encouraging nod. It's all it takes. She's trying to be certain before she ruins a man's life. But how can anyone be sure in a moment like this? This scene has played out thousands of times in police stations everywhere. We see it as the climax of an investigation, the moment the truth is revealed. Movies and TV show the hero witness pointing, sealing the bad guy's fate. We believe that seeing a face during trauma burns it into memory forever. We trust this moment as sacred in the justice system. But what if that belief is wrong? What if this moment isn't about truth, but the start of a terrible mistake? What if a single finger point can send an innocent man to prison? The pressure is immense, and the consequences irreversible. For decades, the golden ticket in court was an eyewitness. Forget fingerprints or alibis. If someone pointed at the defendant and said, "That's the one," it was usually game over. Juries love eyewitnesses. It feels real, human, emotional. After hours of confusing testimony, a witness's story cuts through the noise. "I'll never forget that face," they say, and we believe them. We're wired to trust confident stories, especially from victims. This belief in eyewitnesses overshadowed other evidence. Even a solid alibi could crumble if someone claimed to have seen the accused. The thinking was simple. Memory is like a video camera. When something dramatic happens, our brain records it perfectly. Or so we thought. The witness isn't lying, they're just playing back the tape. It made justice seem simple and straightforward. Police focused on getting an ID. Prosecutors built cases around it. Juries trusted it. An eyewitness was considered the most reliable proof. But while the system sent thousands to prison, scientists were discovering something terrifying. The one thing the justice system trusted most, human memory, was actually one of the most unreliable. Memory isn't a recording, it's a story, and stories can change. The truth about memory would shake the foundation of justice. The golden ticket was fool's gold, and the consequences were devastating. The science was about to catch up. We like to think our brains are perfect recorders, but science says otherwise. Memory isn't a file you retrieve, it's a story you rebuild every time you remember. Imagine your memory as a Lego structure. Each time you recall it, you rebuild it, sometimes with new pieces. Expectations, beliefs, and outside information fill in the gaps. The result? A memory that feels real, but isn't the original. Every retelling subtly changes the story. Over time, memories distort, like a photocopy of a photocopy. Confidence in a memory can grow, even as accuracy fades. We're not passive recorders, we're storytellers. Our memories are fluid, vulnerable to suggestion. And that's why trusting a single eyewitness can be a dangerous game. Elizabeth Loftus, a cognitive psychologist, proved how fragile memory is. In her famous experiment, changing a single word, smashed, instead of hit, made people remember a car crash as more violent. Some even recalled broken glass that never existed. This is the misinformation effect. New information can rewrite old memories. In police investigations, a simple question can plant false details. Memory isn't a fortress, it's a web, easily altered by suggestion. Loftus showed that our memories can be edited, sometimes without us ever knowing. Back to Ronald Cotton's lineup. It wasn't a fair test, it was a minefield. Cotton stood out. He looked more like the suspect than anyone else. That's like bolding the right answer on a test. The officer in the room knew who the suspect was, and even tiny cues, a nod, a smile, can steer a witness. Jennifer Thompson, desperate for reassurance, picked up on those cues. After she chose Cotton, police told her, "Good job, that's who we thought it was." This feedback erased her doubt and made her certain. The process didn't just ask her to remember, it shaped her memory. The lineup wasn't designed to find the truth. It created a suspect. Jennifer wasn't lying. She was a victim of a flawed system. Her genuine uncertainty was molded into confident but wrong identification. The system failed both her and Ronald Cotton, and it happens more often than you think. At trial, the most powerful moment is the eyewitness's testimony. Jennifer Thompson took the stand, no longer hesitant. She was confident. Police feedback had cemented her false memory. She looked at Ronald Cotton and said, "I am positive that is the man." The jury saw a credible, certain victim. They had no reason to doubt her. They didn't know about the flawed lineup or the feedback that inflated her confidence. We assume confidence equals accuracy, but science says otherwise. A witness can be 100% confident and 100% wrong. The jury didn't get a lesson in memory science, they got a performance. So they trusted the eyewitness. Ronald Cotton's alibi and the lack of physical evidence didn't matter. Jennifer's certainty anchored their decision. They found him guilty, believing they were delivering justice. They had no idea they were sealing a terrible injustice. The power of confidence had misled them. The story felt true, but it wasn't. The real cost? An innocent man behind bars, and a system blind to its own mistakes. Ronald Cotton went to prison, losing years of his life to a memory that wasn't real. DNA testing changed everything. It could identify a person with near-perfect accuracy. After more than a decade, DNA proved Ronald was innocent. The real perpetrator was found, a serial offender named Bobby Poole. When Jennifer saw Poole's photo, she was shocked. Her memory had failed her. The system had convicted an innocent man and let the real criminal go free. Ronald lost a decade. Jennifer faced guilt and shame. Eventually they met, reconciled, and became advocates for reform. Their story is a powerful lesson. Mistaken eyewitness ID can destroy lives. The consequences are real, lasting, and deeply human. Justice isn't just about good intentions, it's about getting it right. And sometimes, the truth comes too late. Ronald Cotton's case wasn't unique. DNA exonerations revealed a pattern. Mistaken eyewitness ID was the leading cause of wrongful convictions. The Innocence Project found it in 70% of DNA overturned cases. The problem was systemic. Lineups were fundamentally flawed. Scientists and legal experts proposed reforms, double-blind lineups where the officer doesn't know the suspect. Witnesses are told the real perpetrator might not be present, reducing pressure to choose. Sequential lineups, showing photos one at a time, force witnesses to compare each face to their memory, not to each other. These simple changes dramatically reduce false IDs. Memory is fragile, so the system must protect it. Justice means being smart, not just tough. The lesson: memory isn't a recording, it's a story. and we must do everything we can to make sure it's the right one. Because lives depend on it.